Welcome to the U World Order Showcase Podcast. Your host, Jill Hart, the Coach's Alchemist. Couldn't be more excited to have you join us today. On this podcast, we celebrate the champions of change, the up-and-coming life, health and transformational coaches who are fearlessly stepping forward to make a difference in the world. Get ready for inspiring stories, practical tips, and powerful moments that will motivate you to make a positive change in your life and those around you. We're happy to have you join us on this incredible journey as we dive into the world of life, health, and transformational coaches who are lighting up the path towards a better tomorrow.
Hi, and welcome to the U World Order Showcase podcast. Today, we are speaking with Phillip Bramwell. Phillip is an up-and-coming coach who wants to challenge people with disabilities and businesses/schools to reflect on and improve the lives and services for people with disabilities. Phillip himself has disabilities, and he's here to share his story and what he's doing to be the change he wants to see in the world. But he's really kind of blazing the path on two fronts, and we'll get into that with him. So welcome, Phillip. We're really happy to have you on the show today.
Hi, Jill. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
So tell us your story, Phillip. What got you started into this?
Sure. So my name is Phillip. I'm age 25. I currently reside in Tempe, Arizona. And I was born with cerebral palsy. So I was born with a brain injury due to severe premature birth. I had brain bleeding. So that resulted in permanent brain damage. And so as a result, I'm in a manual wheelchair full time to get around. I'm not able to walk because I don't have any balance. But that's why I'm in the situation that I'm in. And as a result, it's fostered this business that I have at the moment.
And you were telling me that you work as a in pediatrics. Tell us about your day job, because this is kind of connected to all of these other pieces.
Yes, Jill. So for now, coaching and consulting is my side business. I have a day job, and that is I do customer service, medical customer service. And so basically I'm the complaint department of my company. So I hear a lot of it's parents complaining or sharing their negative feedback, usually about their experience in the doctor's office. So that is my day job, and it's kind of complementary actually to my side business idea, but that is my day job at the moment.
I was just going to say, it seems the reason I wanted you to mention that is because it really plays into what you're trying to do. And it gives you a unique advantage to understand what these parents are going through of kids with disabilities that are approaching medical facilities. And that's one of the two prongs that you're looking at for helping people in the world and coaching coaching specifically. So tell us a little bit about your ideas around approaching medical professionals.
So for educating medical professionals, my angle is to encourage medical professionals to teach their disabled patients and their families how to be aware of their problems and their diagnoses. That way, they can teach patients to be more proactive in their healthcare and to be more to advocate better when you're in the doctor's office. So I've done a few presentations about that in regards to being a disabled patient and because I actually was a child with a disability. I survived my whole childhood having a disability. I think that adds tremendously to my credibility with what feedback I give.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you've come so far, really. I mean, it's pretty remarkable that you're setting out to do something to be the change you want to see. So when it comes to you were talking a little bit before the show about how you had to interact as an adult much earlier on. You want to talk about that a little more?
Oh, yes. So I was born disabled, as I was saying. So I don't have any able-bodied experience on this earth. And so my early childhood, you spend a lot of time in therapy and doctor's offices. And so I had to miss birthday parties and different activities that non-disabled children get to do. And so we're around medical professionals a lot. And so they're using medical terminology, and they're some of them are starting to teach us how to handle our problems and to advocate for ourselves. So that's what I mean when I say I had to act like an adult at an early age. Like we were like my population, we're not really, talking about the Wiggles or about, the Sesame Street. We're talking about, oh, my hip is about to pop out of my socket, and we're 4 years old. So that's what I mean by we had to behave and interact like we were adults from a young age.
And then tell us about the interaction that you experience with other able-bodied adults who aren't really familiar with you. How does that interaction look?
So I describe myself because I've been disabled my whole life. I'm 25. So I describe myself as a professional disabled person at this point with my level of experience. Being disabled for a long time, it doesn't get recognized in the professional world as credible experience to use in a professional way. But because I've learned so many different things when I was a young child, now my interactions with able-bodied adults are pretty smooth because I already know to be proactive, that I have to be the teacher a lot of the time, and I just have to be acting like I know what I'm talking about, and to be smooth with my interaction.
Exactly. So you're also, the second prong of what you were looking to accomplish is to help disabled people be more self-aware. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So part of being a disabled child, like I was saying, is you have to behave like an adult. And part of the reason why that has to occur is because the people that are actually of adult age, sometimes they don't know what to do. Just because somebody's 18 or older, it doesn't automatically mean that they know how to handle your disability. So we had to pick up the slack, even though we were young, and we had to behave like an adult. So when I say I want to teach disabled children how to be more proactive, what I really mean by that is I have to teach them how to interact like an adult, even when they're young. And so that's what I mean by when I say that.
So it's easier to help the disabled person understand how to interact with an able person than try to teach the whole able population how to help somebody
that's correct. A lot of that is because we're the disabled population, we're the largest minority group, and so we're still a minority group. So there's fewer disabled people than there are non-disabled, and so it's easier.
rapidly changing, though.
right, and we're in an aging population, so the population is changing, but it's easier to teach a disabled person how to interact with the able-bodied rather than an able-bodied to interact with a disabled person.
Yeah, I could see that. And they're more motivated because they're the ones that are trying to get things done and
Yes, that's
running
correct.
into obstacles. So
That's correct.
so what are your ideas about getting these different prongs of coaching going? What do you think you're
So for coaching like the disabled children,
Mhm.
the issue there is more straightforward. It would be their parents that have to pay for the for the coaching sessions.
Mhm.
So that's more straightforward. It's just they need help, but a lot of disabled families, including my family when I was a kid, they don't have that extra income available to pay for coaching. So it's more straightforward in that regard. For the teaching medical professionals, in my opinion, my biggest challenge at the moment is getting organizations and companies to recognize that my contributions are just as credible, if not more credible, than a person with a traditional MD or a DPT, doctor of physical therapy. That that my credentials are my life experience. And as I was saying, I'm 25 and I have 25 years of disability experience. So that right now in the professional market, that's not recognized. Like if I put that on my resume, like people don't take that seriously. Oh, you have 25 years of experience, but they should take that serious. And that's
it's navigating all the medical facilities, all the government funded things that are available to disabled people, but it's really hard to take advantage of any of these programs. There's like so much you have to do.
Right, absolutely. So that's why I feel, and I know that my experiences are just as credible, if not more, than the person that had to go to school. And if I didn't have a disability, I would probably go to school and learn that way as well. But I'm playing the cards that I have to the best of my ability, and that also includes trying to monetize my cards in one way or another.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you do definitely have a gift to share with the world. And I think what you're doing is pretty amazing.
Oh, thank you, Jill.
So what's the one thing you want to share with the audience that you hope they take away from this conversation?
I want people to take away that just because I didn't go to medical school or I didn't go to physical therapy school or any of these traditional academic institutions to learn about medical problems or disability, that my life experience in the reverse of that, being the patient in those kind of venues, is just as credible as someone that had to go to school to obtain those credentials and that knowledge. So I hope that's what people take away.
Probably even more so because you actually have your own experience. And I find that with a lot of coaches, they experience something and overcome it, and then they do well as they share that with others, which seems to me what you're trying to do.
So one of the barriers that I'm sure a lot of coaches face is people don't view coaching as like we made the mistakes for you. We suffered for you, so you don't have to suffer. Right, but part of that is we want to be compensated fairly for that sacrifice that we all had to make to get the knowledge that we have. And so I would like people in the professional market to recognize our sacrifice and that it's worth value.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how can people get in touch with you? I know you have Instagram.
So at the moment I'm on Instagram and YouTube. It's both the same handle, Phillip Bramwell Coach. So my first name, last name, and the word coach, COACH, Phillip PHILLIP, and Bramwell, B as in boy, RA, M as in Mary, WELL.
Perfect. We'll be sure to put those links in the show notes below. Thank you so much for joining us today, Phillip. It's been our pleasure having you.
Thank you, Jill. I appreciate your time and for having me on.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the U World Order Showcase podcast. We hope you've enjoyed hearing from our incredible life, health, and transformational coaches who are making a profound impact on the world. Remember, change begins with you, and you have the power to transform your life and the lives of others. If you want to take that next step and unlock your true potential, visit thecoachesalchemist.com, where you can find the 3 ways we can help you for free to spin your talent into gold with clarity, a system, and a plan. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an inspiring episode. And if you enjoyed today's show, we'd greatly appreciate it if you could leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback means the world to us and helps us reach more people with our positive message. Stay connected with us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and upcoming guest announcements. You can find us on Facebook at the U World Order or simply visit thecoachesalchemist.com.